Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I have a whole big ton of manga to share with you today. So today's haul is an accumulation of stuff that I picked up, I think mostly through August. Some of this was in July and some of it was at the start of September. Yuna is trying her very hardest to get on the desk, but she currently can't because there is a big wall of manga blocking her way. So in August I started to try dabbling a bit more into using Vinted and buying a bit more secondhand. So I got some big chunks of stuff on Vinted that I have to share with you today. Apparently the manga wall did not stop her. Usually I'll go through things alphabetically. Today, as I think I did last time I filmed a haul, we're going to go through things like where I got them from. Why? Yuna. So the first pickup, it was Cardcatch Sakura Collector's Edition Volume 2. Don't do that. I picked this up on World of Books for about 12-ish, 13-ish pounds. I read volume 1 during the Clampathon and I'd really enjoyed it, so I was like trying to keep an eye out for other volumes because these are quite pricey. They're big old hardcovers with like fancy pages and stuff. And when this popped up and I was like, excellent, I'll grab it. I have a couple other volumes from the series from World of Books. I wasn't too worried about condition. I was like fairly hopeful because they both arrived quite nicely as well. I didn't get a chance to read it during the Clampathon, but I will still read it at some point before the end of the year. Bye, Yuna. No, don't go for the phone. Next we got some more pickups from World of Books. We have another couple of Clamp volumes. We have volumes 1 and 2 of Wish. Now I believe this is a series that is complete of 4 volumes, I want to guess. These were rather cheap and the condition is decent, to be honest, even the spines look fine. Because it is complete at 4, it did kind of put me off reading volumes. I feel like when series are 5 or less, and I know they're 5 or less, my preference is to try and read them together. And after some other Clamp series I read all together, I think that's what I'm going to do. So even though I picked these up for Clampathon, I'm going to wait until I can pick up 3 and 4 and then read those together. Still on World of Books, we have Lone Wolf and Cub Volume 19. Now, about a year ago, during the golden days of WoB, I managed to pick up like 20 plus volumes of this series remarkably cheap. Like some of them were even only a couple of pounds each. I think I only have one that's like slightly sun damaged. The rest are actually pretty decent. I keep keeping an eye because I think I was missing 4 volumes before I'm complete, and I just keep an eye out just to see if any others pop up, and another one did pop up that I needed. I am now only 3 volumes off being able to complete the series. I am rather keen to try and complete this because it's like one of 2 manga series that my manager at work said that I needed to read, and it's like he doesn't read much manga and all that, so when he was like you should read these 2, I was like okay, I'll try my best. Next from World of Books, we have 5 volumes of Arisa, which actually means I have completed this series. We have volume 4, which is unfortunately actually a bit battered. We have volume 8, Volume 9, Volume 1, I should have put these in order, and Volume 11. So yes, I am now complete on this series. It is a shame about Volume 4, but it actually took a while to open it, and looking back, condition of it was good. It is a remarkably hard series to find nowadays. I'm not really sure why. It has got like old Kodansha logoing on it, so I assume just it's an older series and they're not intending to reprint it is all, I guess. But it is nice that I have now managed to complete it. I can now read the whole thing. Now we got some bigger series to try and pull out. It's kind of cut off a little. There we go, ish. Maybe I should move the camera. So we have volumes 1 to 18 of Ottoman, and that is a series complete. And this was one of my first forays into Vinted. I have done Vinted like once or twice, but I feel like I started to look a little bit more often in the month of August. Someone did share this in the Discord and I went for it. It wasn't a bad price. I do feel like as it averaged out per volume, I think it was like £4 or so a volume or something, maybe even less. I do think there are individual volumes I would be able to get a little bit cheaper, but I think there are also volumes that I wouldn't be able to get cheaper than that and I'd have to pay more to be able to fill the gaps. So I thought I'll just grab the full set of it. Lots of people seem to talk about the series really highly, so I am quite optimistic and excited to get into it. Okay, we have another full set of manga I picked up. It isn't actually very often that I pick up a full set in one go, but we have another full set that I picked up also on Vinted. I was really pleased with this. I bought 1 to 20 and I think it was like 50 something pounds for the lot, and they very kindly threw in volume 21 just because they were just very nice. I do think 21 is the most recent volume, so I think that actually brings me up to date with the series. I had slightly held off picking this up thinking, well, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z have box sets, I'll wait for a box set, but then when I saw it for like 50 something pounds including shipping, I was like, well, I'll just grab this then. And here we are. I do really want to binge Dragon Ball. I just need to get round to it. I just need to get round to reading some of my longer series, and I just don't get a chance sometimes. But I would love to read Dragon Ball. Next we have Descending Stories Volume 1. It is a little battered, but I didn't pay very much for it, so I'm not that fussed. It was secondhand. I want to say it was like Wob or something that I bought it from. I can't quite remember. I had collected a chunk of volumes of this series years ago, but I'm still missing 2 volumes. One of them was volume 1, so now I am only missing 1 volume. It isn't very long, I believe it's only like 10 volumes, but I would really love to read it because a lot of people say great things about it. Next we have volumes 1 to 4 of Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. This is a series that Liddy Moon has absolutely adored and has been raving about it and wants more people to read it. To be fair, I only picked these volumes up because she found links and sent them to me. So these were also second hand, but they're all in great condition. They were like £7-ish or so, but they are a pricier volume. They're by Kaitan Books. I think they tend to be about $13.99, $12.99 RRP, so paying about £7 is quite a good price, especially the condition they're in. I haven't gotten around to reading them, but I very much will do at some point this year. I do also have volume 5 to read. Next we have volumes 1 and 2 of Arji Avida. I believe I've pronounced it incorrectly, and I apologise. Someone told me, and I just cannot remember for the life of me all of a sudden. These are the omnibuses. There is a 3rd omnibus to complete the set. But I was quite happy to see these for a decent price. There are singles. I do typically prefer singles, but I feel the singles can be trickier to pick up than the omnis, though the Omni 3 can be tricky to find in itself. I just went on a bit of a clamp binge. As you'll see, there is still some more to come. The condition isn't too bad. I mean, inside is not like particularly yellowed or anything, at least in the volume 1. Volume 2, no, that's also still pretty good. Continuing the clamp binge, we have Clover. I think there are a few different variations of this you can pick up. I went for the paperback because I do generally prefer paperbacks, even in an Omni, over hardbacks. I find them easier to hold. Also very like crisp on the inside. So that was an all-in-one that I had also hoped to get through and I didn't get a chance. It is a little battered on this corner here, but I'm not that fussed, to be honest. Looks like there's some nice artwork in the back. I wonder if these are like the covers of the other volumes. Sorry, if they were in the singles. Okay, next stack. Okay, so we have some light novels that I traded with someone in the Discord server. So these are for Ben, obviously. We have Spice and Wolf 3, 4, and 5. I picked up a load of these light novels at the Travelman Warehouse sale, and now I just need to try and find gaps. Mostly early volumes, a lot of early volumes missing. And Classroom of the Elite 4.5, 7.5, and 8. I did not realise there were that many like 0.5 volumes. Still don't really get it. I understand the concept, but like putting it in my spreadsheet just makes it more annoying and makes me grumpy. Further exchanges in the Discord, Sasaki and Miyano Volume 6. So recently there was a big hoo-ha news thing around how a county in Florida has banned this series because of the inappropriate relationship. Read homophobia. So we are now running a read-along of this series in October. I need to check. This video might actually go up after it, but I will still post about it ahead of time if you have otherwise missed it. I'm going to try and do a volume a day from the 1st of October. I now have 1 to 6 because of this volume. Jesus Christ, Yuna. Well, this was nice condition volume until Yuna smacked it with her face. Why would you leave your bum on my hand? I do need to track down 789. I had meant to order it and then completely forgot, so I'm hoping to try and find them in store now. Next up is Tsubasa Volume 10, which I think is the final Omni for Tsubasa. I had still sort of held out hope I'd be able to pick this series up in singles. I think I would like to try and take in the series, so I'm going to go for the Omnis for now. Same with XXXholic. Massive thank you to the person in the server that was happy to swap with me. Next we have Ultimo Volume 8, which was very kindly found for me by someone in the Discord server who reached out saying that they didn't think I had it and would I be interested. So I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. This is a bit of a harder series to track down. It is one that had Stan Lee working on it. I can't remember exactly what he did to work on it, if it was story or what. Apparently it's quite good, just the later volumes are crazy prices to be able to pick up, and I'm just too cheap for that. Next we got a couple more Vinted pickups. We have Eclair Rouge, which is part of the Eclair series. It is a GL series. Annoyingly, they don't have numbering. They're all called Eclair something. So I already have Eclair Blanche, and I think there's an orange and a blue and maybe another one. There's about 5 or 6 of them, but none of them have numbers. They just have French colours, which makes it a little trickier to put in your spreadsheet. I hope it's decent when I manage to pick up the rest though. And from the same person, I also picked Manga Classics and of Green Gables up. There aren't many Manga Classics volumes that I am now missing, and this is one I have continuously kept an eye out for because I don't think it's even listed on the Manga Classics website anymore, and it's usually just a little bit more pricey when looking around for it. I managed to get both of these for £8 including shipping. It was quite crazy, but it was kind of an odd pairing, I assume, or an odd set of volumes. I'm not sure how many people would actually be interested in these. Manga Classics, absolutely. Just need to try and track down the last 3 that I need, I want to say. Next we have another Vinted pickup. We have it's a Uze Baby. Forgive me. 1 to 4. I'd never heard of this series, and I saw 1 to 4, and I think it was £10 or £11 including shipping, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's try it. And then I think every day for a week after that, on various social medias, I saw someone talk about this series, and I was like, I've literally never heard of this before. How is it now just everywhere as soon as I picked it up? Maybe just because I was now aware, and I was just really oblivious and unobservant before then. I must say they are a bit more battered than I realised, really quite battered, held together with hopes and wishes, I must say. The plastic covering on the outside of the volume is barely holding on the volumes. They'll still be readable, but they are they're battered. They are properly battered and yellow. But I paid very little for them, I suppose. Next we have 7 volumes of Hayate the Combat Butler volumes. Let's try and do this in numeric order. 12, 18, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. This now gives me a clear run to 26 or so in the series, which is amazing because the 20s have been causing me a bunch of problems to try and find. Someone in the Discord server hit up one of those sort of random stores, little markets that sells books, and they have a bookcase or a corner with manga, and they had a big pile of this series, and they very kindly offered to pick it up and post it out to me. I paid for it. I'm not saying it was just entirely out of their pocket, oh no. But they were kind enough to actually pick it up and still post it to me, which I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Step closer to this being up to date. I was going to say complete, but it hasn't finished printing in English. Step closer. Very pleased, thank you. Next we have Clamp School Detectives volumes 1, 2 and 3. This is a complete series. I picked it up on eBay to try and read during Clamp Month, and I actually did read it. Basically these kids kind of do detective stuff around school. There are little mysteries and they go around and solve them. I do talk about it a lot more in an upcoming video, 1000 volume reads. I have already filmed it, but I think it's going to go up after this one. There are some other series here that I have read as part of that, and I will talk in a whole bunch more detail in that video, which actually might just be the week after this one. Keep an eye out for that, but I did enjoy them. Okay, that is all the news stuff. I think we've now gone through used / swapped and all that. we are now on to new. So on this deck, I'm fairly certain it is a mix of Blackwells and Forbidden Planet, like Forbidden Planet Online, regular Forbidden Planet. I think they had a bunch of stuff for a decent price, and I picked a load up because of that, and that's where these have come from. So we'll do the Blackwells stack first. I think this is Blackwells at least. Malevolent Spirits Monogatari Volume 7. This series I have picked up entirely in sale sections or on sale. I don't even know what it's about, or I assume there's something like not amazing about it for it to always be in sale sections. I'm missing like one volume till I'm up to date. Which is crazy, building it entirely from sale sections. When I say sale, I'd say most of this was cheaper than 3 for 2 by like £1 or more, sometimes way cheaper, which is what encourages me to pick it up. If you're interested in staying up to date with the deals, do join the Discord server, people share them there, that's where I keep finding them. Then we have Modern Dungeon Captive starting with Broken Skills Volume 2. I had never even heard of this series until I saw Volume 2 in the sale section. I thought this just looks like the kind of series I'd really enjoy. I don't have Volume 1 though. I was kind of surprised. I'm not sure I've seen Volume 1, if I'm blind or what. I need to remember to try and look for it next time I do like a sci-fi order or next time I go to store or something. Volumes 10 and 11 of In Another World with My Smartphone, a fairly mediocre isekai in my eyes. So I'm not rushed to pick it up, but they do often pop up in sale sections as they have done. These were like $4.99 or $5.99, which I'm happy to pay for that. We got Rainbow Spines too. Dark Gathering Volume 7. This was I think $4.99, which is £1 cheaper than 3 for 2 pricing. Rather a spooky read, often at times a little bit too spooky for me. I'm saving volumes to read during October, during Witchtober probably. Next we have Bloodblade Volume 1. Absolutely no idea what this is or what it's about. It was just discounted at a price I was like, yeah, let's try it. Let's see what it's like. That's quite neat art though. Neither and the Starry Bride Volume 5. I have enjoyed what I've read of this so far. This was discounted to like, what was it, $6.99 or $7.99? This now is about $13.99 RRP, unfortunately. Bigger Kodanshas are about that price nowadays. So that was a pretty decent price. I need to check if I have Volume 4 though. I might have a gap now. Don't like having gaps. Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You, Volume 3. A fairly okay romance. I quite enjoy it. It's pleasant. I don't think it's like outstanding. It's weird reading a romance set during COVID though. It takes me like 5 minutes to read the volumes though, so I'm very happy to be able to pick up Volume 3 discounted. Super Morning Star Volume 4, and I think this is the final volume. It is the final volume. I absolutely love when series post print final volume on the volume. Since it's complete, I'll try and read all 4 together at some point. I think I actually picked up other volumes from this series in sale sections as well, potentially off Blackwells as well. It's a plastic wrap though, which, you know, bodes well. Ice Guy and Cool Girl Volume 5. I picked this up for $7.99, which is great. It is a $14.99 RRP volume, which, yes, I know, it's so thin. The Square Enix volumes be crazy sometimes. What a gorgeous cover though. I hate how pretty the covers are. It drives me insane because of how pricey they are. I think something weird happened with this volume because actually a few places had this volume discounted. It kind of looked like the RRP was set incorrectly. So even though it was like dropping like a usual discount because the RRP was set incorrectly, it dropped a bigger discount than us the consumer would expect. Not that I am complaining, I just thought it was kind of neat because there were a few different places with the exact same sort of discount and the RRP was incorrect on all the places. Something to keep an eye on maybe, but you'll need to join the Dudette Discord server for that. Saving 80,000 Gold in Another World from My Retirement Volume 6. Kind of weird. Isekai, I've been vaguely enjoying it. The whole being able to jump back and forth between worlds is a neat concept that I don't think enough isekai do, and the whole taking things between worlds to sell them and all that. There is a very strange focus on weaponry though. One Dance Volume 9, another series that I feel like I pick up a lot of in sale sections. I know it's something to do with dancing in the name and the cover, but I have not started reading the series yet, so I do not know. Final Blackwells volume, I believe, is Am I Actually the Strongest Volume 6, which I understand is an isekai. I haven't started reading it yet, and I have a big gap between volumes. I think I have like 1, maybe 2, and now I've got 6. I will get to it. Now onto the Forbidden Planet stuff I picked up, I think. I hope some of that wasn't Forbidden Planet. I don't fully remember. It's been a little while. So Forbidden Planet is where I used to pick up a lot of my pre-orders because the pre-order prices were always pretty decent. They changed how their shipping works now. So when you pre-order stuff, you have to pay a bit of shipping for each item, and it just doesn't make it worthwhile anymore. I mean, I get it, but it just doesn't make it worthwhile anymore. And the shipping has, in general, I believe, gone up. It's a little bit more. So I was like, there needs to be enough in the sale section for me to be interested in spending that shipping, and there was. In fact, some of these volumes were like $1.99, $2.99. Some of my really bad isekai, obviously, such as Into the Deepest Most Unknowable Dungeon Volume 6. I don't remember exactly which volumes had the crazy discount. I would definitely recommend going and checking the site for yourself. They have a sale section. Just keep an eye on postage and all that. This was not a series I was like overly into. The characters look way too young for the sort of explicit things they get up to. It is an isekai, and I was enjoying the dungeon aspect though, so that's why I've held off till I found it cheap. My Room is a dungeon restart volume 6, a kind of weird isekai where this guy's room is like on the boundary between Monday Tokyo and a dungeon, and it just feels like a lot of women have just sort of turned up into his apartment and ended up staying because it's cozy. It's very much not an outstanding series, it's very average, hence why I'm picking them up when they're on sale. I think that's the case for a lot of these volumes actually, including My Lovey-Dovey Wife is a Stone Cold Killer Volume 4. It's kind of got a bit of a Way the House Husband meets Fly Me to the Moon. These people get married before they really know each other, and they're like married and being awkward and trying to date, but also she is an assassin and has sort of a dark side, but also it's played off really cozy and cute. But it ends up coming across just a bit more bland and a bit dull, unfortunately. Hence why I've not rushed to get volumes. Acid Town Volume 4. Now, I can't say anything bad about the series. I haven't started reading it. I have picked up all my volumes so far, I think, in sale sections. I don't think I have Volume 3, but I have 1 and 2. A lot of people in the Discord server seem to be a fan, though, which bodes well. Next, we have a Naruto light novel, Sasuke's Story Star Pupil. This was very much discounted. I would like to try and pick up the rest. Some of the first, I think the first light novel I read was one of the Naruto ones, one of the very original ones. I think it was Shikamaru's, maybe. And I did enjoy them, so I do want to pick up more of these. I'll probably try and pick them up secondhand at this point. Then we have a couple of Sword Art Online ones, Sword Art Online Progressive, Shuzo of Deep Night Volume 2 and Gun Gale Online Volume 4. There is so many manga series for Sword Art Online, and I am just very slowly, progressive, picking them up. It's taking time though, especially when they keep bringing more out. How rude. Is there Free Life Fantasy Online Volume 4? Another isekai. It is one that I really enjoyed Volume 1, and I found Volume 2 not as good, unfortunately. And I've just not read any further yet. I don't think I have Volume 3, so I don't think I can read further yet. I liked that the main character had this like weird class that was kind of dark and trying to figure out her way, and especially in Volume 1, the only real character in it was the main character. There wasn't really anyone else. It reminded me a bit of like Sama Spider So What, actually. And then they very rudely brought other people in, and I'm like, oh, damn it. I'm hoping it'll pick back up for me. Spy Classroom Volume 3. I had not rushed to pick this volume up. Volume 1 was okay. It has a lot of hype, I feel, the series. So I like went in not knowing anything and kind of expected a little bit more, and I feel like I was let down a little. Oh, it says final. Is that it? It's completed 3? Okay. The light novel still has a bunch of volumes. Light novel's still going, isn't it? Damn it, why do they do this? Okay, well if it's complete, then I'll try and read volumes 2 and 3 together, I guess. Damn it. Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest, volume 13. This is like kind of a middle average fantasy essay. I do enjoy it. I like the premise. I like the whole Sage Crest stuff. His youth, when he was reborn, and things have like changed, the hierarchy, there's like secrets and stuff. I just don't think it's like amazingly well written, but I like the story and I like the premise, the situation, I guess. Please put them on Takamine-san, volume 5. Plastic wrapped. I picked up a couple of volumes in sale section or sales in general. I don't believe it's going to be amazingly good, but when I see them on sale and it was cheap, I was like, yeah, cool. Sorry, let's keep collecting my trash. I'm Kind of Chubby and I'm Your Hero, Volume 2. I don't know if this is a series that's complete at 3 volumes or I'm mixing it up with another one. Apparently it is very, very cute. I have Volume 1, and then I think someone said to me it was a short series, so I was like, oh, hold off. And I kept seeing this in the sale section in Forbidden Planet London, but it was always like $7.99. I'm like, that's not cheap enough. if it's in a sale section for me. But it was much more discounted online. I can't remember what to, but it was like nicely more discounted. Just like Mona Lisa Volume 1, this is actually not a like older series. It was a new release, but I kind of wonder if it was on the similar lines to like the Ice Guy and Cool Girl, in that it felt like it was incorrectly priced, so it was discounted much more than it should have been. It is also a Square Enix volume, so maybe just Square Enix did some incorrect pricing for a bit or something. I don't know. New release, seen some mixed opinions on it, so I'm interested. Ooh, it's got like jumps of colour. Oh, it's her eyes. Her eyes are blue. Oh, other people. Oh, that's interesting. I look forward to that then. I like when colour is used sparingly in a series. Next we have Nights with My Cat Volume 2. I don't have Volume 1, but it was a cat series, so I had to grab it, especially when it was discounted. I do think it is normally a bit more pricey. It looks like it's got some colour in it. The pages feel pretty good, to be honest. It feels like a nice hefty volume, so it explains why, but that doesn't make me any less grumpy. Just need to find Volume 1. Next we have Daiwa Gelda Volume 3. This was really nicely discounted. Once again, I can't remember what to, but I remember going, damn, let's grab that. Dot Volume 2, I have Volume 1. I got it cheap second hand. This is new. I mean, it's still plastic wrapped, so I'm quite happy. This is probably one I think Ben will enjoy more than me, so I need to make him read it. Essence of Being a Muse Volume 2, and it's really chunky. I think this is complete at 3 volumes, maybe. Maybe I'm pulling that out my arse, so I'll wait. I've seen also mixed opinions on this. Some like it, some really don't, so I'm interested when I get to it. Next we have Tales of the Kingdom Volume 3. This was, I think, under £10, which is nice considering it is a hardcover. I remember reading Volume 1 and not being like crazily into it. It wasn't what I was expecting, and there were a couple of bits I didn't enjoy, but because the tales are like so like all over, or at least they were in Volume 1, I'm hoping that there'll be other tales that I do enjoy. Any of that made sense. Blue Wolves of Maibu Volume 1. I've seen a lot of hype for this on like Twitter and Instagram, so I am quite excited to give this a go. But I know it's samurais, and that's the extent of my knowledge though. Final volume from the Forbidden Planet haul was Spriggan Volume 3, and I think this is the only one we needed to complete. Spriggan, I believe it's complete at 4 of these big, thick, chunky omnis. It's a series that Ben really wants to read. He picked up the first... I think we've actually picked them up all in sale sections, potentially Forbidden Planet sale sections. Usually for like 10-ish, just a bit over 10-ish maybe. Actually no, he has definitely bought some in store, ignore me. I hope he's going to be excited by that. He is reading other stuff at the moment, but he will need to get to all these other series we picked up for him to read. Okay, we are on our last stack. We have 2 parts to this. We have stuff that I've picked up from Forbidden Planet International in Leeds on a trip I did, and stuff that Ize Press has very kindly sent me. So let's start with the Ize Press stack first. On top we have Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess Short Story Collection 9.5. I haven't read this volume yet, but I desperately want to. I have not yet read my volume 9, so that's put me off. I have 9, 10 and this to read. I am a big fan of this series. I think it's great. I do not think it is like the best villainess series out there, but I love the tropes that we get in this series. It's very dramatic and I absolutely adore it. So I was really excited when they sent a short story collection. I can't wait to dive into this. I also really weirdly like the yellow with the black text. I like that. In Another World, My Sister Stole My Name, Volume 1, a new release isekai, and I really liked it as well. I love my female lead isekais. So the premise of this is in modern day Japan, this girl has this mirror and a friend lives in the mirror, and they like talk to each other, spend lots of time talking to each other. And one day, many years later, I think is it her sister or half sister, just her older sister, disappears one day and no one can find her, and it's really sad, but all trails go cold and they have to end up moving on because they just can't find her. I think a year or 2 later something strange happens and our main character is pulled into the mirror, where she finds both the young boy that she was friends with and talked to through the mirror and her sister. Now for some reason her sister has taken on calling herself her name instead of her actual name. So her sister must have fallen through the mirror like a year or 2 earlier and just pretended that she was the female lead instead. And now the sister is threatening the female lead to not say anything, otherwise bad things will happen. And yeah, I've enjoyed it because I love series like this where we're like building up to a big reveal. Someone is outed, revealed to be bad. I like that thing. I love that trope. I kind of like the bad sister trope as well. Saying that with a sister myself, but my sister's great. But I like reading about the bad sister trope. Sorry, Neve. Not that she would ever watch my videos. Next, they sent Strategic Lovers Volume 1. This series was bad. This series was not great. I think I was very amused. Some of the people that they also sent this volume to were very like, why would you send this to me? This is not something I would ever want to read. It is very odd. For anyone who's read or is familiar with Who Wants to Marry a Billionaire, where a group of women are sent into a house with a guy and he has to pick like which one he'll marry, it is kind of a very similar premise to that, except we're kind of following the story from the guy's perspective as opposed to one of the women. Realize we've got like stuff on the back. So the premise on the back is Kuta is the estranged son of an enormously wealthy corporate founder and his 23rd mistress. Kuta thinks the issue of succession and inheritance has nothing to do with him until his father's condition worsens and Kuta is suddenly kidnapped to become the next chairman. Before him are 5 beautiful girls, all in contention to become his lover, and each with their own agenda. It's up to Kuta to investigate and choose who he wants, but with his hands full from the girls' advances, will he really be the one controlling the board, or will he become a pawn instead? It's, yeah, teenage boy in a house with women trying to vie for his affection is the general premise, and it's a bit gross. I also got really thrown at this graphic, this illustration in the cover, because the guy has 2 right hands. I was staring at it going, something is weird, the guy has 2 right hands. And there is a lot of very strange, like, design choices, I'm gonna get a say, around some of the women. I guess. Probably wouldn't recommend this one. I'll keep picking up. I think it was almost like so bad I vaguely enjoyed it because I was amused. But I'm not sure that's necessarily a reason for others to pick it up. Okay, the next few volumes I did actually read during August, so I talk a whole bunch more about them in the 1000 volume read video. I'll quickly go through them, but I'll talk more in detail in that video, so do go check that one out. Springstorm and Monster Volume 1, same mangaka as Cheeky Brat and Stray Cat and Wolf, neither of which am I a massive fan of. This one I also was not a massive fan of, and I will explain more and why in that video. Pink and Habanero Volume 1, this was a very nice romance set in a high school. I quite enjoyed it. I'm struggling to think of anything outright remarkable and different that sets this apart from others, but I still enjoyed it. The Hachioji Speciality Tengu's Love Volume 1. This is kind of a light-hearted comedic romance where these two are kind of living together. She's a yokai who's never really been in the outside world, and he is just a guy. And I assume it's gonna devolve into more like odd couple kind of situations. Finding Camellia Volume 1, new Ize Press release. Very, very pretty. So this girl's father is a noble. She was born as part of an affair with a commoner, I think. And the matriarch of the family has decided to kidnap her and pose her as a son because their current son is not very well and might not make it, and they're not sure. So they're keeping her as like a placeholder, but she needs to be a boy for that because of nobility reasons. Very pretty, do enjoy, look forward to more. Then we have 3 light novels that I have not had chance to get to. First we have My First Love's Kiss, which I believe is a GL series from the author of Adachi and Shimamura. We have Even a Replica Can Fall in Love Volume 1 and Victoria of Many Faces Volume 1. I have seen lots of good reactions to this one. I haven't seen too much about the other 2. I was kind of interested that Ize Press started sending light novels. I slightly wonder if it's to try and start building up the light novel market by sending out to people to promote and talk about it, because I feel like manga is a niche in itself, and then light novels are like a niche. And outside of like some of the bigger popular ones, like maybe Solo Leveling and Overlord, maybe Sword Art Online, maybe, I feel like a lot of especially newer stuff starting to slip through. Now I do pick up a lot because my partner reads them and stuff, but I wonder if that's why. Interested that they're doing that. I would love if the light novel market grew more. I think there's lots of stuff in light novels that it would be great if we could have them in English as well. I mean, they've brought us Beans They've brought me beans. They've brought me beans. They can do no wrong. They've brought me beans. Okay, we are on our last stack, and this is stuff that I picked up on a trip into Leeds and went to Forbidden Planet International. I primarily went because there was a load of Ize Press releases, new stuff, and I wanted to just try and sweep it all up if I could. And I think, to be honest, I got every volume I went in to pick up, plus a couple more. So I'm very, very pleased. Let's do the non-manhwa first. I got Twin Star Exorcist Volume 29. I mostly picked this up to make up a 3 for 2. There are a few series where, especially Viz, where I'm like kind of putting off picking them up generally in case I want to try and make a 3 for 2 up at some point. And that was why I grabbed that one. Darwin Instant Volume 3, another one I did slightly pick up to make up a 3 for 2. I haven't read my Volume 1 or 2, but actually people I work with have watched the anime and I feel like I need to now read it because of that. Black Summoner Volume 2. Still not read my Volume 1. It's meant to be a really good isekai. There was quite a bit of hype for it coming out, so I just need to read it. Volume 2. Volumes 1 to 5 of The Vampire and His Pleasant Companions. Volume 5 has just come out. I understand it has a fairly slow release schedule. I think it was one of the reasons I wasn't too bothered about picking it up for a while. And then I saw 1 to 5 sitting on the shelf in Leeds and I thought, why not grab it? And now I am up to date. What is with this colour scheme though? We're going black, white, white, grey, white. What will 6 be? Too Many Losing Heroines Volume 1. I picked it up because I don't even know what it's about. I kind of look forward to going into it blind though. Sugar Princess Skating to Win 1 and 2. I think it is only 2 volumes. Yeah, it says final volume on there, so it's only 2 volumes long. I am trying to sweep up loads of shoujo beat at the moment. There seems to be a bunch appearing. I was kind of surprised to see these on the shelves in store, and there was a bunch of other shoujo beat stuff that was appearing on stores. It's great. I don't know if they're reprints or found stock or whatever, but it's nice to be able to find them and pick them up. Next I grabbed A Sign of Affection Volume 9. I am really behind on Sign of Affection. I am 3 volumes behind on Sign of Affection, and I feel really bad about it. But I'm also kind of happy because like I've got a bunch to read in one go, I guess. I just can't believe how quickly it slipped away from me that I've not read 7, 8 or 9. I've been holding off picking it up because I was waiting for the price to drop on Sci-Fi, and then I saw it in store and I was like, let's just grab it in store then. Okay, now we move on to like the manhwa series. So first off we have Link Click Volume 2. It still has that really nice, neat sort of hollow effect on the cover. I was a little grumpy. A little grumpy seeing Volume 2 in store less than a month after I finally received my Kickstarter box, but I have also said to myself that I would draw a line in the sand and stop getting grumpy about that because it's happened, I've got my parcel, move on, but I feel like seeing this on the shelf like reignited something, but I need to just let it be. I'll read 1 and 2 together though. Link Click seems to be the one that's had like the most hype and all, so yeah. Unholy Blood Volume 3. I can't believe 3 is already out. I've still not read my Volume 2. I loved Volume 1. I loved the vampires, the action. I think it was really prettily drawn. And I got really sad. I cried a bit. So I just can't believe I've still not read Volume 2. And now 3 is out. It's coming out so quick. Star Seekers Volume 4. I nearly actually missed this because I thought we already had this character on the cover. So I was a bit confused. And it's kind of hard to read the 4 on the spine. You can kind of do it if I catch the light just right. I mean, I nearly missed this. I've quite enjoyed what I've read so far. I just need to keep reading. I want to read so much of my manhwa this year before the end of the year. I want to try and catch up on like all of my Ize Press if I can. World After the Fall Volume 6. I thought I was up to date with this, but apparently 7 is out, so I am a bit behind. One of the only ones I'm a bit unsure of is in Ize Press series that I'm a bit unsure of. In theory, it has everything in it that I should enjoy, but Volume 1 just did not get it for me. So I'll keep going. Villainess Turns the Hourglass Volume 4. I really liked this volume. I am enjoying the main character like doing really well and the sister not doing very well. And like the whole sort of a whole bunch of stuff she'd been keeping secret is now coming to light with her and Asher, and I enjoy it. I like aggressive revenge plots, and this is just meeting and ticking all those boxes. So the rest of these volumes are all ones that I read during the 1000 volume read, so I will talk in a load more detail about them in that video, but I'll just quickly run through them with you. We have Tied to You Volume 2, BL Manhwa. I'm still, I think, enjoying it, but I'm unsure on the dynamic. I don't think I like any of the characters for various reasons, and it's like that is slightly off-putting me, but I am enjoying like the scenario still, so that's keeping me going. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim Volume 5? We got loads of answers in Volume 4, and now we're kind of like experiencing the repercussions. I think this was an excellent volume. I enjoyed the dynamic with characters, with her, with the guy, with him. I don't think there's actually many volumes until it'll be complete, and I look forward to that. Business Proposal Volume 6. I have been loving this series so much. I love the romance, the slight drama. It's so similar in like loose premise with Secretary Kim, except Secretary Kim has had like a big pile of drama that's like come to light, whereas Business Proposal is a bit more lightweight than that. I love the colour of this cover. We don't get many like yellowy colours. Father, I Don't Want This Marriage Volume 1 from Ink Law. I had no idea what to expect with this volume, and I enjoyed it more than I expected. Maybe if I knew any slight thing about the premise, I wouldn't have been surprised, because considering this is so up my street. But I really did, and I can't wait for more. I hope they bring us more manhwa. Actually, there's like Under the Oak Tree. I have ordered that. Perks of Being an S-Class Heroine Volume 2. This might be one of my favourite Ize Press releases at the moment. There is everything about it is just stuff that I enjoy. It's very, very pretty. I love the pink. That shade of pink is beautiful on the main character. I love the stats, the system, the whole like voice of the administrator. Excellent. I already looked at when Volume 3 comes out. I think it's November. Solo Leveling Volume 9. I had been waiting a while for Volume 9, and it did not disappoint. We had lots of lore explanations, well, not complete explanations, but stuff is starting to become revealed to us as a reader, to the main character as well. There's also lots of big dramatic fights and battles and everything's super cool, and he's getting more and more stronger and powerful, and it's great, and I love it. And with that is today's haul. A big pile of used, a big pile of new releases and stuff I've been hunting for. This was amazing. I love this haul. I love all the Ize Press. Oh my god. A massive thank you to everyone that swapped me or found volumes for me or sent them to me. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. And a thank you to Yen Press for continuously sending me piles of volumes. Thank you. Remember to like this video and subscribe, and check out my channel membership. It's 99p a month for early access. Leave a comment down below what you thought of my pickups. Remember to check out my 1000 volume read video next week, where I talk about all the stuff that I've read during the month of August. And check out the Dude It Discord server. We are continuously sharing bargain finds and stuff, so if you want to keep up to date with deals and stuff, check out that. Otherwise, I hope you have the most wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!